Hey everybody, Beth Helby, Michael Saunderson Company. I hope everybody's doing good today. So again, we are in Southwest Florida in Sarasota, and Sarasota's opening up. My offices in particular are going to be open to the public next week. Of course, there's going to be guidelines. They're going to ask that people are masked and maintain 6 feet protocol, all that good stuff. A lot of it is with my particular office is we've got something like 120 employees in there. So we have the space to be able to do that. Our smaller offices, I'm not sure what they're doing, but my particular office on Main Street in Sarasota is going to do that. They've got various stations set up so people can sanitize if they need to and things like that. But it'll then give us the opportunity to meet our customers in the office to go over contracts, do closings, and things like that again. So yay, that's a really great step to getting back to normal. I hear that Manatee County is going to lift restrictions on the beach in another week or so. Our mall here, UTC, University Town Center, is also open. I don't believe all the stores are open yet, but it is open, and people have been going. So we're slowly getting there. We'll see how this goes. But I want to talk to you all a little bit about buyer etiquette. We're going to start seeing more people walking into properties to actually view them. Our major feeder market is the Northeast. Once the Northeast is able to be out and about because of their restrictions, and of course, when the residents are more comfortable being out and about, hi Chuck, we're going to see a lot more of our Northeast visitors coming down here and hopefully picking up where they left off when everybody went home, and possibly even securing a place for the winter. I think a lot of people that had been on the fence or hemming and hawing or, just playing the waiting game, because again, it's a second property. They're not in a rush. I think a lot of those people are going to be feeling the need to kind of speed things up. Hi, Steve. And get out of our more densely populated areas and come down here where we're not so densely populated. Let's talk about buyer etiquette. It's kind of interesting. People don't really know what to do, I think. I did a video about this a year and a half ago, something like that. Buyer etiquette is really simple. You're walking into somebody's house. It's not your house. You don't own it. So you do things like, unless the bed is going to stay, don't get on the bed. Don't open people's drawers. Don't, if they ask you to take your shoes off for whatever reason, please do so, or use the provided booties. If they say, be careful that you don't let the cat out, don't let the cat out. Close the windows when you're done. Don't walk away from the sliding glass door and leave it wide open, especially right now because we're right smack in the middle of love bug season. It's terrible. And things like that. Be respectful. It's just coming down to being respectful. And that means, if you're not going to go to your mom's house or your grandma's house and behave that way, then don't do it in somebody else's house because you are a guest in their home. And we have to understand something with sellers. There's a lot of work involved in selling your house, especially when you're still living in it. You do nothing but clean constantly. And if you have kids and or pets, it's even more so, because you never know when you're going to get that phone call that says, hey, can we come see your house at 6:00 or whatever. It's a lot of work. And they're also leaving themselves kind of open. People are opening up cabinet drawers in the kitchen. If that's where you keep your meds, people are going to see what meds you're on. Hey, Paul, people are going to look in your closet. They're going to see what kind of clothes you wear. They're going to see your shoes. They're going to see your style. And sellers are opening themselves up and being vulnerable. So we need to respect that. And the reason I'm jumping on this is because I have a handful of listings, obviously. I always do. Hey, Casey. I've got some listings that are vacant, which is really, really normal in my area because we have our huge second home market. It is not unusual for sellers to completely move out of their house, whether they're leaving the area or moving someplace else in the area, because, let's face it, it's a hassle to maintain a house and sell it while you're living in it. If they can do so, they do. And again, it's because we live in this second home market. It's not unusual for people to put their property on the market and then just not come to it. And then that way they don't have to worry about keeping it clean and keeping it up. Maybe they send their housekeeper over and things like that. And of course I go and check on it. But it's just one of those things. But I do have properties that are owner occupied. We have that as well. And I've been finding lately that even though I'm telling realtors you need to show up with a mask, that realtors and customers aren't. Hi, Iblis. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. That realtors aren't showing up with masks and their customers aren't. So we're going to put everything aside. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat. I don't care if you think it's a hoax. I don't care if you think we're not being proactive enough. I don't care if you think that we opened up too soon. We didn't open up too soon. We need to open up now. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. And here's why. It doesn't matter because it's not your house. So when you have a house that is occupied by sellers or even not occupied by sellers, if that seller is requesting that you view their house with a mask on, that's what you're going to do. And you have to. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a mask. This is my mask. I have a bandana. I've ordered masks 3 times and they haven't shown up. You know, it's the way the world is right now. And it's what we have to deal with and it's how we have to live. But when a seller requests that anybody entering the house has a mask, you need to have one. You know, you need to get a bandana. You need to have a mask. They're not infringing on your rights. They're trying to protect themselves. And we don't know why they're requesting that. You know, are they requesting it because they are susceptible? It doesn't really matter. It's still their house. And you as a buyer are a guest in their house. And you have to respect that. Just like you're not going to let their dog out. You know, if their dog is there, if their cat is there, you're not going to jump on their bed. Thank you, Casey. There's no politics involved here. You know, you're not going to crank up their AC to 70 degrees because you're hot. You know, you're not going to do that. You're not going to leave the water running. You know, you're not going to take food out of the refrigerator. You know, you're not going to do this stuff. So when a seller asks you, just like they did before then, take off your shoes. I just replaced the carpets. You know, please don't eat in my house. Did you bring a soda pop in? That's great. Can you leave it outside, please? You know, if they ask you to wear a mask, wear one. It's not that hard. And you can take it off to the next one. If that seller doesn't care, that's entirely up to you. National Association of Realtors has recommended that we follow CDC guidelines. They're not making us do anything. Until there's some sort of national stance on this, they can only provide guidelines. We are not being made. If you come to my office, you're going to have to wear a mask because my office is owned by somebody who's requiring masks. It's just like when you walk into somebody's house. So please, please respect that. It's unbelievable the amount of pushback I'm getting on this from realtors. And, you know, and they're allowing customers to walk in. Hi, Ann. Especially to occupied properties. I have occupied properties where the sellers are public servers. So they're out and about with the public all day. And that's part of the reason they're doing it too, is they're trying to limit their exposure. And like I said, politics out of this. Whatever you believe about this, whatever you believe, you know, the government stance is, whether it's the national government or the state government or the city government stance is, whether you believe it's a hoax, hey Sarah, whether you believe it's not a hoax, whether you believe we should be overly cautious, whether you believe we're overreacting, that is irrelevant. It's somebody else's house. And if they want you to wear a mask, you're going to wear a mask. That's all there is to it. It's just being respectful and it's being a good guest. Now, when you buy the house, you don't want to wear a mask, you want to have a big old party, you want to lick the walls, have at it. That's fine. But before you buy the property, you must remember that you don't own that property and it's somebody else's house and they still live in it. And I think buyers get a little confused about this because, you know, they feel like it's more of a commodity than somebody's home. And we need to take that out of it. We need to remember that this is still somebody's home and we still need to be respectful of the fact that this is somebody's home. And just like when I tell you, please don't walk in and slam the house. If the house is really, really ugly, don't walk in and go, oh, wow, this is ugly, because you don't know who's listening. It's somebody's home. We need to respect that. We need to respect that they, for whatever reason, this is how they live. This is their heart. This is their soul, and we have to respect that. And the same thing goes with masks. So it's a little soapboxy for me, which I don't typically do, but you need to remember to do that. Okay, and we're going to be seeing a lot more people come into the area really, really soon, because as soon as the Northeast, you know, as soon as they're allowed to roam around and as soon as the people that are living there feel comfortable doing so, they're going to head for Florida. You know, it's where we get our people from. Hey, Shannon. So that's it in a nutshell. Please do so. I hope to see you around. Today is going to be beautiful. We're, I think, in the mid to upper 80s. It's sunny, it's breezy, not a chance of rain in sight. If you can get out there and avoid the love bugs, of course, and get you some vitamin D. Practice your social distancing. Wear lots of sunscreen. Drink lots of water. If you have any questions about this, throw it in the comments. If you have any questions about real estate, throw it in the comments. I'm happy to answer them all. And I hope you all have a great day. Bye, everybody.